Welcome to Body and Soul's 5th yoga home video. So for this practice, we'll need a strap, one block, and 2 blankets. You see? 1, 2. And I'm sitting on the blankets. I folded them like this. Okay, so they're that shape. And I put them mat-wise like that. Okay? I have this mat here in case I have to show something from the side. But you guys, just a mat going this way, parallel to the camera, is fine. So here we are. And today's practice is going to be completely on the ground, no standing at all. So if we could start with the legs crossed, feet out under the knees, you see. So the shin bone is parallel to whatever wall is behind your camera. Now, I press down on the blankets, lift up and sit back down again, so the buttock flesh and the buttock bones are uniform. And I'm sitting a little bit towards the front of the buttock bones, relaxing the feet, relaxing the legs, and of course lifting the chest. So I want to extend up the side body, extend up the sides of the sternum. See, sides of the sternum ascending, here's the sternum, the breastbone. Sides of the sternum ascending, relaxing the legs. I roll the tops of the arms back and release the back of the arms down. Roll the tops of the arms back, release the backs of the arms down. So we get that circular action around the armpit. Front of the armpit ascending, back of the armpit descending. Balancing the head directly over the tailbone. Lift your chest, broaden the collarbones, and join your palms, thumbs touching the bottom of the sternum, fingers pointing away. Keep the base of the skull directly over the tailbone, so you may have to move the torso back, not just the head, but the torso back a little. And close your eyes, relax your jaw, your tongue. And breathe a little deeper, a little slower. Feel the inhalations coming up the interior side of the front chest. Right, so the interior of the front chest lifting as the inhalations brush up against that surface. A brief pause at the top, and when you exhale, exhale down the interior surface of the back ribs. So we get an orbital breath inside the front ribs, ascending as we inhale, inside the back ribs, descending as we exhale. So the lift of the chest remains throughout. Slow, steady, full conscious breathing through the nose. Keep the collarbones broad. Backs of the upper arms releasing down. So feel the posture, feel the breath. See how they connect. How that orbital breath connects with the flesh lifting in the front body and descending in the back body. exhalation, return to normal breathing. And return your hands to your legs. And gazing towards the floor, slowly open your eyes. And then lift your gaze to look outward. Lift up nice and tall. Take the back of the pelvis in, the sacrum in, as you lift the sides of your sternum. Okay, and that's a little different than pressing the lumbar in. I'll show from the side. So here's the lumbar spine. We don't want to press that in. We want to move the sacrum forward down here. The sacrum moving forward as you lift your chest. Okay. So reverse the cross of your legs and work with that. Adjust the buttock bones and the flesh so it's uniform. And bring the sacral, the back of the pelvis, forward as you lift the chest up and relax the legs and feet. Rolling the shoulders back, back of the upper arms descending, sides of the sternum ascending. Nice. Extend your legs out. Lengthen through the inner heels, big toe mounds. Press down with your hands, lift your chest. And now let's work with another seated pose. That was Sukhasana. This pose is called Siddhasana. So I'm taking my legs wide, you see, so we're doing the poses together. Okay, since it's a video, I'm not going to be demonstrating. I'll do it with you, all the poses. So you take your feet fairly wide, and look, I take my left hand on the inner left thigh, and I'm mirroring you. I realize this is my right leg, but we're mirroring today. I take my left hand to the inner left thigh, and I lift up so the hip releases. The hip releases, especially once I get the foot up on the mat and a little closer to the hips. So that's why I do that. And then I take the left hand over the thigh under the ankle. Okay, so that's important. This is what protects the knee. Then with my right hand, I roll the sole of the foot up, and I bring this heel directly under the perineum. Right? The heel is directly under the floor of the pelvis. And the top of the foot is on the blanket. So the calf flesh is rolling out as the sole of the foot is rolling out. And then, this is a slight modification of the classic pose. I do the other side, my arm over the top of the leg and under the ankle, and again, I roll the calf flesh up, roll the sole of the foot up, and I place the right heel directly in front of the left on the floor. Okay, so as I say, that's a little bit of a variation of the classic pose. The sole of the foot up, the calf rolling up, and the heels basically aligned. But the tops of both feet on the floor. And lift your chest. Hands resting on the knees, lift your chest, roll the shoulders back. And sit a little bit towards the front of your sitting bones, lengthening your inner thighs out into your knees. If this is not available to you, we're going to roll the knees up. Stretch the legs out. You can sit in Baddha Konasana like this, soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. I have my hands behind me, fingers pointing backwards. I'll show you that. If you're unable to do Siddhasana because of hip or knee pain, you do Baddha Konasana. You see how my hands are? And I lengthen the inner thighs out into the knees. Now, those of you that completed Siddhasana, let's do the second side. So we take the feet wide. I grip here and I fold this leg in first. Right hand over the thigh under the ankle, sole of the foot up. And I bring the heel right under the perineum. And I do the same with this leg. over the side, under the ankle, sole of the foot rolling up, the heels aligned, and I lift my chest. Siddhasana. Okay, and roll the knees up. Extend the legs out. Those of you in Baddha Konasana do the same. Press your fingertips down, lift your chest, roll the shoulders back, backs of the upper arms releasing down. And spread the toes. Very nice. Now, we'll move the blankets and have my block and strap aside, and we'll take downward facing dog. Now you see I'm on all fours, and I have, see, with the hips directly over the knees and the shoulders directly over the wrists, right? But I take the hands forward about 8 inches. Then I curl the toes under, keep the knees bent for a little bit so you can get the arms and the side ribs extending first. Right? Arms and side ribs extending first. Drawing up on the inner thighs to straighten the legs. So I'm drawing up on the legs and I'm pressing back with the fronts of the ankles and the tops of the legs as I extend the arms and the side ribs into the outer hips. So we're doing this together. Right? There's the shape of the pose, there's the action, extending the side body more and more into the outer hips. Pressing back with your legs. That supplements and complements the stretch of the arms and the side ribs. And then come back down to all fours. And let's turn to take Dandasana again, facing this way. And we'll retrieve our 2 blankets that we put aside. And put these under your sitting bones once again, extending through the inner heel and the big toe mounts. So from the inner knees you're extending out. Roll the inner groins down, press your fingertips down, and roll the upper arms back. Now, Urdhva Hasta Dandasana, we're going to take the strap and make it a loop, a little less wide than your shoulders, and put it between the wrists and your elbows. Okay, and as I stretch the legs and spread the toes, I'm going to take the arms up, palms facing each other. And you see how I lift the sides. It's almost as if I'm doing downward dog, this extension of the side ribs, lengthening through the inner heels, big toe mounds, pressing out into the strap. Lifting more and more the sides. And then exhale and release. And now connecting that one more time, downward dog. So we'll move our blankets, come to all fours, outer hip over the knees and shoulders over the wrists. I take the hands forward about 8 inches, spreading the fingertips, and up we go into Adho Mukha Svanasana once again. Lifting up with the inner legs, extending the inner arms all the way back into the inner groins, and roll the inner groins back. Release the neck, spread the fingers, make sure the thumb and index mounds are pressing down so you're not on the outer edges of your hands. The pose goes deeper when you're extending the inner portions of the body, the inner arms and the inner legs. And then come back to all fours. And Taking your strap once again, we'll lie on our back. Watch here. Maybe this one you should watch first, because as soon as you lie down, we won't be seeing you. Okay, so watch here. I bend both legs. This is called Supta Parangustasana 1. And I go ahead and bring the right leg up. I put the belt just below where the ball meets the arch. I'm going to open this belt a little more so I can double it. It just is a better grip for me. You see, you could use any kind of belt for this, okay? So here I am. Notice the left leg is still bent with the foot on the floor. I lengthen up through the inner right heel and big toe mound. You see, so you're watching now. I'm just demonstrating. These poses I have to demonstrate. And I pull the foot towards me this way as I press this hip or the top of this leg that way. Right? Pulling the foot towards you, pressing the hip away. Now, the leg may be here. You definitely don't want to bend your knee, okay? So no bending the knee. Keep the leg fully extended. It may be down further, right? The leg may be at an angle like this. It's fine. We want to avoid this, okay? So keep the back of the knee open, right? Wherever that leg is going. And then release. Keep the right leg bent, bend the left leg to your chest, same thing. Lengthen up, big toe mound, right? Pressing into the belt. As I said, your leg may be here as long as the knee is completely open in the back. So I'm extending the heel, but also pressing the big toe mound up into the belt as I pull the foot this way and I press the hip that way. Okay, opening the collarbones, relaxing the jaw. Feel this work. Reflect, connect, and exhale, release. Now, one more time, the first side. Pulling the foot towards you, pressing the hip away, I now extend the left leg out. The right leg is going to be challenged quite a bit as soon as I do that. Extending the left leg out rather, as I press the left leg down. Thigh towards the thigh bone. Thigh towards the thigh bone. Opening up the backs of both knees. Spread the collarbones. Release your jaw, the root of your tongue, but keep working with the legs. Supta Parangustasana. And exhale, release. Second side. So here I establish this leg, and then I stretch this leg out, you see? So that's what we'll be doing, okay? That was a pretty long demonstration. So lie on your back. Have both legs bent. I'll be doing it with you in case you can see, all right? See the camera. Okay, and now bend the right knee towards your chest, put the belt just below the ball of the right foot, stretch the right leg up. Pull the right foot towards you, press the right hip away. Okay, spread the collarbones, open up the back of the right knee. Your left leg is still bent, foot on the floor. Exhale, release. Take the left leg up. Put the belt just below the ball of the foot. Pull the left foot towards you, press the left hip away. Spread your collarbones, and again, you may be here, that's fine. You may have the leg down. It can, or vertical, or even beyond vertical, wherever the leg goes, spread the collarbones. And then exhale, release. Okay, now, the second time we'll do this, just like we did, and now go ahead and extend the left leg out. So now you're putting the belt around the ball of the right foot, and you're extending the left leg out, pulling the right foot towards you, pressing the right hip away, press the left leg down. Supta Padangusthasana 1. And exhale, release, and we'll do second side. Lengthen up through the left heel and the big toe mound. Pull the left foot towards you, left hip away. Stretch the right leg out. Press the right leg down. Press it down. Get a nice opening in the back of the left leg and a secure earth element in the right leg, pressing down. And then exhale and release. Okay, and now roll to your side and come up and watch the second piece of this. We'll just do it once on each side. This is Supta Padangusthasana 2. So I bend the leg, take the right leg up. This time I hold the belt only in the right hand and I stretch the left leg out. And then I go ahead and bring this leg down to the side, but without disturbing the security of the right side, right? The right hip, the right thigh, even my right hand pressing down here as I bring, my left hand on my left thigh, right? Pressing down as I take the right leg down to the right. This is a demonstration now, okay? You're gonna get to do it. I'm pulling the right foot that way, pressing the right hip that way, and then come up. And let me just show you the second side. When we do the left side, you're holding the belt in your left hand only, stretch the right leg out and come down to the left, pulling that foot towards the head side and the hip away towards the foot side, the right foot side, okay? So that's Supta Padangusthasana 2. So go ahead and lie down, have both legs bent, and put your belt where the ball and the arch meet of your right leg, holding the belt in one hand. Stretch the left leg out. Now keep pulling the foot towards the head side and over you go to the right. Keep the left side grounded. Keep the left side grounded. Press that left leg down and press your left hand on top of the thigh. Pulling the right foot towards the head side and the right hip towards the extension of your left leg. Then pressing the outer right thigh in, inhale, come up. And we'll do second side. So put the belt where the ball and arch meet of your left leg. Keep it fully extended. Stretch your right leg out. Ground that right leg and over you go to the left. Over you go to the left. Left hip, left sitting bone towards your inner right heel. Keep pulling the left foot towards the head side. And then inhale and come up. And release. Okay, and now if you could roll to your right side and slowly come up. I'll show you the next pose. Urdhva Prasarita Padasana. So here, we take one of our blankets. This is the demonstration now, okay? I lie down and I put, and I know I said in the beginning we'd be doing everything together, but not this part, okay? Because we have to watch, you'll be lying on your back, you wouldn't be able to see probably. So here we are. I have the blanket under the hips, both legs bent, feet on the floor, and I'm going to stretch the arms overhead. Okay, see, I can stretch them overhead. If that's difficult, you can put a belt like we did before in Urdhva Hasta Dandasana. The belt can be a little less wide than the shoulders. Press the arms out into the belt and extend the arms overhead. That will help open up the shoulders so you get this full extension and the elbows will be fully open. Now, if this is too difficult because of shoulder injury or what have you, you simply hold the side of your mat and you push. So I'm gripping the sides of the mat near the hips and I push the sticky mat away from my shoulders as I turn the inner arms up. Okay, so either way, arms overhead or arms by the side. And look what I do. I bend the knees to my chest, spread the toes. This blanket is under my hips, not under my spine. Bend the knees to my chest, extend the legs straight up, lengthen through the inner heels and big toe mounds, and extend your arms fully. Or we're pushing this way, right? And then the next step, we're gonna bend the knees and go up what I call 60 degrees, okay? It's 45, 60 degrees. Somewhere in there, the arms overhead, but you see how firm the knees are and how firm the elbows are. I bend the legs, we go back up to 90, etc. Okay? So, go ahead and set up. Lie on your back and place the one folded blanket under your hips, not under your spine, but fully under your hips with your legs bent. Now, a word, if you have menses, okay, this is a strain in the abdominal region, you may want to do Pavana Muktasana instead. Also, if you had recent abdominal surgery of any type. So you fold the knee to your chest and stretch the other leg out. I should have shown that before. So those of you, if that condition exists, if you could roll to the side and come up and watch, if either of those conditions exist, this is what we're doing. See, this is Pavana Muktasana, okay? Otherwise, go ahead, stretch your arms overhead, grip the sides of the mat and push, and bend your legs towards your chest. Extend the legs straight up, lengthening through the inner heels and big toe mounds, either pushing on the mat, holding it by your hips, or stretching your arms overhead. Lengthen through the inner heels, the big toe mounds. Keep the knees firm and open in the back. Keep the elbows firm. And then bend your knees to your chest and extend out 60 degrees, a little lower than 45. Extend your arms, keep your knees firm, or hold the sides of the mat and push. Turn your inner arms up. Keep the good work. Bend the knees to your chest, and we'll go back up to 90 degrees, pushing the legs straight up through the inner heels and big toe mounds, straight up. And then bend your knees to your chest, go up 60 degrees. Keep extending the arms, lengthening through the inner heels, big toe mounds, knees firm, elbows firm. And then bend your knees and put your feet on the floor and rest. Okay, and then we can roll to the right side or the left side, whichever is more convenient, and come on up to a seated position. Come up slowly. Let the head come up last. And now, if you could put a blanket down like this across your mat. Okay, so this is your mat. I just have this extra mat here for other purposes. But here, you put it across your mat, and the other blanket folded like this, you see, like this now, and we'll put that blanket at the back end of this flat blanket. Have your strap nearby. Now I sit up on this blanket, extending my legs out. Oh, here's where the block may come in. Janu Shirshasana. So let's sit with the legs extended. Now I'm back to doing it with you. Extend your legs out, roll the shoulders back, spread the toes, and watch here. We'll do together. I take the left leg out to the side, much like we did Siddhasana, right? Like that. And the left hand over the side under the ankle, and I take this foot against the inner right thigh. Now, if I have enough elasticity here, I can actually take the left heel to its own thigh and only the toes of the left foot against the inner right thigh. So that would bring this knee even further back. But whatever you can muster, okay? So with me, this knee is basically down. The blanket is holding it a little, but I'm safe here in the groin, okay? If for some reason your knee is up here and you're getting pain in the knee, you need to elevate your height, possibly give up this blanket, because you may not need it for padding, fold it up a few times to make this blanket higher, okay? So you could do something like that. I'm just addressing people. I know we're doing this together, but some people may have difficulty with that knee. So then you would put the block under your knee, about the height of the hip. You don't want it really up high, okay? So here, Janu Shirshasana. If this is impossible, you put this foot up like this, okay? The knee up like this. So you do this instead of this, okay? Lift your chest. Now, keep your left hand on the floor, your right hand on the floor, take your left hand to your foot and lift up with your chest. You see? I'm lifting up. If you can't reach here, you have your strap. Put it around the right foot, hold the strap with your left hand, press your right hand down, lift your chest. Okay, so the frontal side ribs are lifting, the sternum chest is lifting. There you go. And now either take your right hand to the foot or to the belt, and bend your elbows out and come forward a little bit. See how I keep my head up? Lifting the elbows, extending out. Lift the elbows, extending out. Lift the elbows, extending out. Okay, and then inhale, come back up to the Urdhva Mukha position, the lifted face position, and then inhale and come all the way up. Okay, and we'll roll the left leg up and stretch it out. So that's how you use the block. If you don't need that, by all means, don't use it, okay? You can sit on one blanket. And again, you could put a flat blanket out if the outer foot bone hurts on the floor. Stretch your legs out, bend your right leg out to the side now, taking the right foot to the inner left thigh, or if you have enough opening in the hips like Siddhasana, we did in the beginning of class, go ahead and put the right toes against the inner left thigh and the heel against its own thigh. Lift up nice and tall. And again, you're doing this either if you have knee pain with the block and an extra blanket, or you're coming into the pose like this with this knee up, okay? So press your left hand down, lift your chest, take your right hand to your left foot, or use the strap. But keep the chest lifted, keep the chest lifted. And then take the other hand to the foot or strap, bend your elbows up and out, and you see how I'm reaching out with the front body. Reaching out with the front body, lifting the elbows and extending. Notice my head is still up. And then inhale and come up. And we'll roll the right leg up and extend it out. Now, I'd like to show something from the side, the same pose. So you see, when I'm just showing from the side, it's the same pose. We're going to repeat it, but it's important that you see how I keep the chest lifted. I keep the chest lifted as I come down over the leg, lifting the elbows and drawing myself forward, okay? So that's important, that idea, this idea, okay? So one more time. Extend your legs out. Fold your left leg out to the side. Again, be careful of that hip. Roll the calf up. Roll the sole of the foot up. Right leg out, lift your chest. Left hand to the strap on the right foot. Right hand to the right foot. Now turn your chest from left to right as you come down over the leg. Keep the head up today. Keep the head up today so you don't round the upper back. Elbows up and out. Take your side ribs towards your armpits towards your elbows, and the elbows towards the wall you're looking at. And then inhale, come up, Urdhva Mukha position, and then all the way. And we'll do second side. So we're doing this together. And remember, some of you may be doing it this way. That's fine. It's a little tough to get the other hand to the foot sometimes if you have long shin bones. So whatever you can do this way. All right, the rest of us, second side, left hand on the floor, lift your chest, right hand to the foot. Again, lift up, left hand to the foot, or use your strap, elbows up and out, extend. Now you're rolling your right ribs towards the left. There's a little twist here. Elbows up, side ribs towards the elbows, towards the armpits rather, armpits towards the elbows, elbows towards the wall you're looking at. Head up. And then inhale and come. And roll the right leg up. Extend it out. Lenses through the inner heels, big toe mounds. Lift your chest, Dandasana. Inner arms forward, backs of the upper arms down. And then release. Now, Paschimottanasana, I'll show you one thing from the side and then we'll do it together, okay? So that you're not moving your mats or anything, I'm just showing a side view. I have my feet hip-width apart. Now here, I'm going to hold my strap, I'll double it, and hold it in my hand. And remember Urdhva Hasta Dandasana, I'm kind of doing that now, you see? Stretching the legs out. Except I don't have the belt around my arms, I'm holding the belt. Take the arms up and I come forward, lifting here, lifting here, lifting, lifting. So the tops of my legs are moving into the hip socket as I extend the front body out, reaching, 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 reaching. And then I can use the strap and lift the elbows. I'm halfway into the pose by the time I get the strap around the legs. And then I come back up, the Urdhva Mukha position, but you don't take the arms up to come out of it, only to go in. Now some of you may be able to do this without the strap. Come forward, extend, 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 and then take hold of the feet and bend your elbows up and out. Okay? So, sit facing your camera, up on your blanket. One blanket, some of you may want two folded blankets here. So, you can take your strap, press out, arms way up, pressing out into the strap, and I come forward, pressing the top thighs into the hip socket. As I reach out, chest lifted, see my head is still up, reach out, reach out, reach out, and then lasso the feet, elbows up and out, side ribs towards the armpits, armpits towards the elbows, elbows towards the wall you're looking at. So we're still keeping the head up today. And then inhale and come up. Lift your chest, Spread the toes. Very nice. So that was Janu Shirshasana and Paschimottanasana. Now, fold your blankets again. This time open them up, fold them back the way you did in the very beginning of class when you were sitting on them. And this time we'll put them mat-wise. So put them on in the middle of your mat, long ways like this, and sit on the edge, stretching your legs out, or near the edge of your blanket pile. Extend the legs out, press your fingertips down, lift your chest, roll the shoulders back, elbows slightly bent, backs of the arms releasing down, knees firm. Now, fold your right leg up like this and bring the heel close to the blanket, interlace your fingers around the head of the shin bone, lift your chest. Keep the extension of this left leg. You see how I forgot about it? Now there it is, back in my consciousness, spreading the collarbones, lifting the chest. Okay, now we're going to do Marichyasana 3. I either hold with my left wrist or elbow, and I walk my right hand all the way around to the left side of the blanket. Okay, so let's do that together. Lift your chest. I'll show you what that right hand is doing. Right, as you're doing this, it's coming all the way around to the left side of the blanket. See how the elbow's bent? And I'm using that to turn that side of the body. So you're still turning to the right, left leg out, turning more and more. Now retract that left leg into the hip socket and look over your right shoulder. Bring those left side ribs towards your right leg. And roll the right shoulder back, bring the right shoulder blade towards the spine. Now keep turning to the right, but look over the left. So you're looking into the camera, you see? So here's the idea. And then exhale, release. Second side. So now I fold the left leg, interlace the fingers around the head of the shin bone, lift the chest, and I embrace with the wrist or the elbow. And as I turn, I bring that left hand all the way around to the right side of the blanket, retract this right leg into the hip socket, inhale, lift, exhale, turn, inhale, lift, exhale, turn. Pull with your right arm to bring the right side ribs towards your left leg. Look over your left shoulder, keep turning, and then look over your right shoulder, but keep turning, and pull that right leg into the hip socket. And then exhale, release. And extend your legs out. Now this next pose, Ardha Matsyendrasana 1. Let's bend the legs so the feet are just enough to get the feet flat on the floor. You see? Now I'm sitting on the blanket longwise, so it's as narrow as my hips. I'm going to bring this left foot underneath the right leg and all the way off the blanket to the side. Can you see that? It's not on the blanket. This foot is to the side of the blanket. This is a variation of Marichyasana 1. The right knee forward and down. I step this leg over, okay? If you're having trouble with this knee, you can keep it extended out and take this leg over like this. Okay, if you're having difficulty with that knee. Otherwise, the knee is down, the foot is all the way to the right side of the blanket, and I step the left leg over, toes pointing straight forward, and I bring this left shin bone straight up and down. Then right shin bone. Then I embrace the right leg with my left wrist or elbow, just like before. And I go ahead with the right hand and take the left side of the blanket, lift the chest and turn, lift and turn. Keep pulling that right leg to perpendicular and turn more and more, but roll into the right buttock as you pull the right leg up and look over your right shoulder. If you can grip with the elbow, go ahead. It'll be a little tighter twist. And now turning to the right, look over your left shoulder, take your back ribs in, and exhale, release. So this is a little deeper twist. Stretch your legs out, Ardha Matsyendrasana 1. Bend your legs just enough to get the soles of the feet on the floor, and now take the right foot underneath the left leg to the left side of the blanket. Bring the right knee forward and down, top the left leg over. So the difficulty is keeping this leg perpendicular to the floor. So you can hold with the wrist or the elbow, and then bring your left hand to the far side of the blanket and pull with your right. Bring the right side ribs around, press with your left. Inhale, lift, exhale, turn. Roll into that left buttock, pull the left knee to perpendicular, turn more and more, looking over your left shoulder. Keep turning to the left, look over your right shoulder so you can see the pose. And then exhale and release. And extend the legs out. And spread the toes. Good. Press your fingertips down, lift your chest. Okay, and now we'll sit up nice and tall on the blanket. Well, some of you don't need to, really. Okay? And you have your one block. Some of you can flatten the blanket. You'll see. I'm going to cross take less blankets. I cross my legs again with my feet out under the knees, just like I did in the beginning of class, and I have the same blankets, so it's just about the same. Now I'm going to come forward from the hip crease, walk my hands forward with the fingertips cupped, and bring my ears in line with my arms. Some of you may want to use a taller block like this to help you get some forward movement here. Okay, relax the feet, relax the legs, over you go. Right, so relaxing the jaw, the tongue, you can cup your fingertips. So you're doing the pose now. And then inhale, come up. And go ahead, reverse the cross of your legs. Feet out under the knees. Lift your chest. And go ahead and walk your feet forward, your hands forward, or use a block. Okay, so you can keep more height in the chest and it isn't as intense on the knees. Relax your face. Let go of the legs. And then come back up. And go ahead, extend the legs out. Lengthen through your inner heels and big toe mounds. Roll the shoulders back. And we'll do a different variation of Baddha Konasana. So we'll put our blanket fold in front of us like this. Okay, so go ahead and do that. And then bring the soles of the feet together up on the blanket. See? And lift up and move your hips in. Don't slide because the buttock flesh is going to go the wrong way if you slide. So lift up and land. Okay? Fingers pointing backwards like we showed before. Lengthen your inner thighs out into your knees. Keep your chest lifted. Widen the knees away from each other. So front chest lifting, shoulder blades pressing. Widen your inner knees away from each other. Okay, and then roll the legs up. You can extend the legs out over the blanket, that's fine, and spread the toes. And now, if you need a blanket for Shavasana, you have one right here, folded just right. You can put that under your head. I don't particularly use a blanket for Shavasana, but some people need to if when you lie down, your chin is up, and you can't help that. Use a blanket under your neck and under your head. I'll show Shavasana. I think most of you know that. You can go into it whenever you want. But here is using this so the back of the neck is long. Because some people, Shavasana is like this. Okay, so you need the blanket. Lengthen the back of your head. Let go of the legs, arms out to the side. Now, make sure the buttock flesh is moving towards the heels. You may have to make that adjustment so the sacrum feels flat on the floor. The arms slightly out to the side, not all the way in line with the shoulders and not alongside the hips, but out to the sides, a comfortable distance where the shoulders release, and let go completely. So start with the backs of the eyes, letting go, the hinge of the jaw, the root of the tongue, releasing. Let go your shoulders, the elbows and the wrists, and let go your hands and your fingers, releasing. When the hands are relaxed, the fingers are slightly curled. If your fingers are extended out onto the floor, you're not relaxing your hands really. So let go, soften the palms. Let go your legs and your feet. Breathing in and out through your nose, giving the breath whatever it's asking for. Just pay attention to what the breath is asking for. You may find lots of changes there in what the breath is requesting. Falling into the earth. Begin breathing more deeply now. As we come out of Shavasana, slowly open your eyes. Move your fingers and your toes. Bend your legs. And roll over onto your right side or your left side if you need to, depending on where your mat is placed. Then rest here, bring the left arm across, roll a little more, and push yourself up. Let your head release down, eyes still closed. Take any seated position, head releasing down, chest lifting up. Inhale, lift the head. And join your palms in front of your heart, eyes still closed. Ascend your heart and bow your head. Inhale, lift your head and gazing towards the floor, slowly open your eyes and lift your gaze to look outward. Namaste.